You're invited to this online healing retreat with ANRITA MELCHIZEDEK, Teachings of the Golden Rose, the Path of Christos-Sophia. Here's ANRITA with an introduction transmission.
Teachings of the Golden Rose, the Path of Christos-Sophia, Initiation of the Golden Rose. 2019 is the year of initiation and soul embodiment, and as initiates of light, we hear the invitation of the heart's calling along the path of Christos-Sophia, the path of unity and divine love, through the embrace of the divine feminine and the divine masculine archetypes. As flames of divinity, we deepen into the flame of divine love through not only self-love and love for our brothers and sisters, but we draw upon the teachings of the ascended realms through the Sisterhood of the Rose and the Brotherhood of the Light. Through all golden ages, as the sons and daughters of God, we have anchored the Christos-Sophia Light codes, ignited the threefold flame of power, love and wisdom within our loving hearts, and within the hearts of all awakening and awakened souls. Revering the Goddess, we came together as one heart and one unified field of light. The Sisterhood of the Rose was initially created in the golden age of Lemuria, and later as priestesses in Atlantis, they gathered together in circles of 12 to activate the threefold flame through the hearts of all humanity. There were 12 groups of 12 women who formed the Sisterhood of the Rose. In essence, they held the secrets to the path of ascension through the overlighting of the spiritual brotherhood, representing all 144 soul ray aspects of the beloved I Am Presence, which takes us through our spiritual and our physical ascension process as we embody all 12 higher selves and all 12 soul rays of each higher self. We can further think of this as our multi-dimensional selves, in particular the archetypes of Christ consciousness, the priests and priestesses, healers, oracles, wise women, diviners, goddesses, counselors, medicine women, shamans, way showers, grid keepers, midwives, doulas, gatekeepers, and so on. When the sons of Belial, artificial grids, and other negative influences disrupted the path of ascension and one unity consciousness in the Atlantean timelines, and the sinking of Atlantis was imminent, the energy of the threefold flame was withdrawn into the newly formed underground cities of light by the Sisterhood of the Rose. In order to preserve the Christos-Sophia teachings and anchor the Grail codes or Rose codes, the Sisterhood knew that they would go through eons of duality consciousness, and with the Brotherhood of the Light, protectors of the divine feminine and portrayers of the divine masculine, held within their hearts the threefold flame until the moment that our brothers and sisters awoke and were ready once more to embody soul consciousness and monadic consciousness. And each golden age the threefold flame was anchored and activated, and in this golden age that time is now. As sisters and brothers of the light, we have gone to hell and back in dissolving lower karmic timelines and embracing all that arises to know ourselves as love and to shift the karma of humanity. This was a much needed part of our journey to understand the full range of human emotions which led to the suppression of the divine feminine and the suppression of the divine masculine, created the war of the sexes, and dimmed the light of the Goddess. Through many ages, we have seen the persecution of women, notably at its peak in the Middle Ages, where women, as healers and oracles and seers, were burned at the stake, beheaded, raped, and mutilated. The Brotherhood of the Light, also known as the Brotherhood of the Rose, were always there too, protecting the sisters. In that timeline, they were known as the Knights Templars, and were often too persecuted and killed for protecting the Sisters of the Rose. These timelines were important to bring us to this point, this moment in time, where we take a deep breath of divine love, breathing in love and breathing out love. And just feel the nurturing of the Divine Mother, as well as the acceleration of the soul embodiment through the higher timelines of divine love, igniting within our loving hearts. We are safe now, feeling and experiencing the threefold flame within our loving hearts. We have further been experiencing many of our initiations of light on the inner planes through the ray ashrams of Shambhala, and now come into the conscious remembrance of our initiations of light as the Goddess and God energy returns to the sacred earth, and we gather once more as the priests and priestesses, merging with timelines of ancient Egypt, Atlantis and Lemuria, and drawing upon our connection to the ascended realms in new ways, with new teachings, ray colors and energies, as we travel in soul consciousness to the temples of light of the Sisterhood and to the ashrams of light of the Brotherhood. This is both a reunion of hearts, of our own inner alchemical marriage, as much as it is a divine union of the Christos-Sophia codes anchored at 0 point through Jesus the Christ and Mary Magdalene, as we find our way through the flame of the Divine Feminine into the temples of light of the Divine Mother and the Divine Father, and receive at this time initiation of the Golden Rose. For the Goddess symbol is the rose, and this is often the first symbol we experience in our initiations of the roses. It is Mother Mary who steps forward as the embodiment of the Divine Mother, known as the Divine Mother of Mercy, healing, peace, guidance, grace, love and protection. She nurtures us by giving us a sense of the Mother energy, which many have felt starved of in this lifetime, no matter the relationship with our own maternal figures. Mother Mary is of the angelic lineage and consort to Archangel Raphael, working with the ray energies within Shambhala. Mary is also known as the Queen of Angels and a powerful archetype of the Divine Feminine, of carrying the inner goddess power and being able to master love for self, as well as mastering nurturing, giving, and mentoring others. In the initiation of the Golden Rose, Mother Mary invites us into a temple of the Immaculate Heart, where she embodies and holds the energy of the threefold flame of power, love, and wisdom. As we journey into our own goddess nature, deep into self-love and self-nurturing, Mother Mary takes us on a journey into our loving hearts and into the embrace of our inner family and inner child, as we allow the tears to flow and our heart to open more deeply in the love of the Divine Mother, while honoring all that we have experienced to know ourselves as love. As the silent witnesses, the beloved I am present, we take the threefold flame and the colored plumes of pink, the flame of divine love, gold of unity consciousness, and diamond of the energy of purity and innocence on our beloved I am presence, across the lower timelines, dissolving them in this now, as we weep our tears of sadness and healing and love. We are then invited into Shambhala, and more particularly into the embrace of Lord Gautama Buddha, the planetary Logos, through the second ray ashram of love wisdom. Elizabeth Clare Prophet described Shambhala as being located in the etheric realm over the Gobi Desert in China. This retreat, once physical, has been withdrawn to the etheric octave, or the heaven world. The retreat was originally built for Sanat Kumara, Hayak of Venus, who long ago came to earth in her darkest hour, when all light had gone out in her evolutions, and there was not a single individual on the planet who gave adoration to the God presence or to the inner Buddha. Sanat Kumara was accompanied on this mission by a band of 144,000 souls of light, who with him had volunteered to keep the flame of life on behalf of Earth's people. This they vowed to do until the children of God, who had turned away from their first love by fallen angels, would respond to the love of God and turn once again to serve their mighty I Am Presence. 400 who formed the avant-garde went before Sanat Kumara, who built on the white island in the brilliant blue Gobi Sea, where the Gobi Desert now is, the magnificent retreat that was to become for all time the legendary Shambhala. The city was originally a physical replica of the Venetian city of the Kumaras. They volunteered from Venus, focused here the 144 virtues of the flames of the elements, comprising a diamond replica of the focus in the Great Hub. The City of White was approached from the mainland by the beautiful marble bridge. The main temple of Shambhala is marked by a golden dome and is surrounded by terraces, flame fountains, and at that time 7 temples, which now are 12 temples, each one for each ray ashram, situated on a wide avenue resembling the Champs-Élysées, lined with trees and flowers, flame fountains, and tropical birds, including bluebirds of happiness. The altar of the threefold flame is the main temple, where the star of Sanat Kumara is hung from the ceiling over the altar. Thus, the principal focus of the threefold flame upon the sacred earth was established by Sanat Kumara when he came long ago. Through it, he connected a ray from his heart to every life stream evolving on the planet, and thus their holy Christ selves to raise mankind's consciousness back to the place where they could be taught the laws of self-mastery. Ignited at this time, the kingdom of Shambhala further plays a central role in Tibetan Buddhism. Author Edwin Birnbaum writes that the sacred texts of the Tibetans speak of Shambhala as a mystical kingdom hidden beneath snow peaks somewhere north of Tibet. There a line of enlightened kings is supposed to be guarding the most secret teachings of Buddhism for a time when all truth in the world outside is lost in war and the lust for power and wealth. Then, according to prophecy, a future king of Shambhala will come out with a great army to destroy the forces of evil and bring in a golden age. Upon his enlightened rule, the world will become at last a place of peace and plenty, filled with the riches of wisdom and compassion. The texts add that a long and mystical journey across a wilderness of deserts and mountains leads to Shambhala. Whoever manages to reach this distant sanctuary, having overcome numerous hardships and obstacles along the way, will find there a secret teaching that will enable him to master time and liberate himself from bondage. The text warn, however, that only those who are called and have the necessary spiritual preparation will be able to get to Shambhala. Others will find only blinding storms and empty mountains, or even death. Gautama Buddha was the first initiate to serve under Samat Kumara, hence the one chosen to succeed him in the office of the Lord of the Worlds. In the mid-50s, it is understood that Sanat Kumara placed his mantle on Lord Gautama, where the Chila par excellence of the great Guru also became the hierarch of Shambhala. Today, Gautama Buddha, Lord Buddha, sustains the tie to the threefold flames for all humanity as we experience our first 5 initiations to embody soul consciousness, and then monadic consciousness through our 6th and then 7th initiations respectively, and then many beyond this as we experience the higher ray ashrams, and as we further experience the plasma, crystalline, diamond light bodies. Sanat Kumara returned to Venus and to his twin flame Lady Master Venus. He continues his service to the Great White Brotherhood and the advanced evolutions on his home star on behalf of the sacred earth. Lord Buddha, who was born approximately 400 BCE in the area now known as Nepal. He was brought up in a palace with all the comforts and luxuries possible. Growing up as a young noble prince, it is said his father sought to shield the young prince, known as Siddhartha, from the pain and suffering of the world. It is said his father had a premonition that Siddhartha would one day renounce the world. However, at one point in his early adult life, Siddhartha sought to find a greater meaning to life. In disguise, he left the palace and wandered around the kingdom. Here Siddhartha came across different people suffering from old age and illness and witnessed death. They showed him the transitory nature of life, which had a great impact on him. As a consequence, Siddhartha resolved to seek a deeper meaning of life. One day, Siddhartha resolved to sit under a Bodhi tree until he attained enlightenment. For several days he sat in meditation seeking nirvana. He was further tested by various forces which tried to prevent him from realizing his goal. However, Siddhartha was successful and entered into the blissful consciousness of nirvana for several days. On returning to normal consciousness, Siddhartha the Buddha, Buddha means enlightened one, made the decision to spend the remainder of his life teaching others how to escape the inherent suffering of life. For many years, Buddha traveled around India, particularly around the Ganges Plan and in Nepal, teaching his philosophy of liberation. His teachings were transmitted orally and not written down until many years after his death. What Lord Buddha teaches us is compassion and patience, liberation and understanding that all life is divinely equal. It is just the levels of cosmic consciousness that differs from individual to individual. And that by embracing our challenges and our suffering as initiations of light, we experience once more the threefold flame of power, love, and wisdom. We are invited into Shambhala, where we will experience initially the first 12 ray ashrams and the energy of these rays, and end with this initiation of the Golden Rose, choosing to once more stand in physical form, in our physical body, to remain here, through truly coming home, as we experience our Christed Overself, our 12 higher selves, and then our beloved I Am Presence. This is an invitation to merge more deeply into the Christed consciousness of light that we can experience in this now, and to remember once more and embody the teachings of the Golden Rose as we walk the path of love, the path of the rose. And so it is, and so it is. Ino soa ia kina sia ia, in kagino koa.
Register today for this online healing retreat, Teachings of the Golden Rose, the Path of Christos-Sophia.